power rankings, standings, and a little bit of wild card talk. This is SB Baseball Podcast. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the SB Baseball Podcast. I'm RD, flying solo. I don't know, Alan's taking the day off. I don't know. I decided to pop on, have a little chat. I noticed that ESPN just released some new power rankings. We have the MLB standings. We're, 8 days into August. We're going to talk a little wild card as well. So let's get into it. Hope you're having a beautiful little Thursday. But anyways, power rankings. The new number one, numero uno, the New York Yankees. They're 68-47. They were previously ranked fourth, but now they've made a jump. They're currently on a one-game losing streak. They lost, I believe, yesterday. They're 8-10 in their last 10, plus 118 on the runs scored versus runs allowed differential there. Dominating completely. Got a .591 win percentage. But yeah, I mean, the Yanks, they're technically in second right now, which brings me to the second in the power rankings, to the Baltimore Orioles. Now, they were previously ranked fifth. They've moved all the way up to second. They have the same record, same win percentage, obviously. Plus 90 on the win or the run scored versus runs allowed differential. They're on a one-game winning streak. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Yeah, I've been pretty much praising the Orioles all year, along with the Yankees. The Yankees have been playing really well, and that leads us to our third. I thought this team was going to be number one, bell to bell. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the league, but they also have, well, I take that back. They have the same amount of wins, but they have one less loss, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies, National League East, first place currently right now. They were previously in first. They've dropped to third. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They are on a current two-game win streak, so that helps. Plus 106 on the run scored, runs allowed differential there. They're slipping a little bit. Had a tough stretch here, and they had lost 6 straight series before taking 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. So they need to get back on track. I love watching the Phillies. They're a lot of fun. Then moving over to number 4, the Cleveland Guardians. They've slipped. They went from 2, now they're at 4. What do you want to say about them? They're first in the Central. They're 67-47, .588 win percentage. They're plus 78 on the run scored versus run allowed differential. They've lost 5 straight, though. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're pretty good. They're pretty good on the road. They're 32-27, but they dominate at home. So if they get home games, they're 35-20, dominating. So, and then they're last to round up the top 5, because I don't think we need to go past the 5 unless you really want to. Maybe we can go a couple more. But anyways, the Los Angeles Dodgers, they're 66-49. They're currently 5th. They were previously in the 3rd hole, but they still have a very firm grip on the West, right? Win .574 win percentage. They dominated at home, 35-22. Now on the road, a little shaky, 31-27, plus 89 on the run scored versus runs allowed differential. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak, and they're 4-6 in their last 10. So they are kind of struggling. They are in, I don't want to say a weaker division, because this division is actually, they've blown up, right? The Dodgers, they've won 66, I just mentioned. The Diamondbacks are at 63, Padres 63. Even the Giants are 500. So it's not like, at the beginning of the season, the first couple of months, this really wasn't much of a division to even speak of. And now it's quite a powerhouse. If you want to look at a comparable one, you look at the American League East. So, and as I said, we can go 6, 7, maybe to 10. We'll go to 10. How about that? Number 6, Milwaukee Brewers are 64-49. Previous ranked 6, so they just stayed right where they're at. The Brewers themselves, are still in first place in the Central. They're 64-49, as I mentioned, .566 win percentage. On a 2-game win streak, they're currently 5-5 in their last 10, have a plus 92 on the runs scored versus runs allowed. Now, they dominate at home as well, 31-21. On the road, not bad, 33-28. So it's a very solid team. They're not really changing much. They should win this division. They're up 6 games on the Cardinals, 8 games on the Pirates, 9 games on the Cubs. They're all just kind of going 500 right now. So as long as they kind of keep puttering along, they're going to be just fine. They're going to win the Central. Next up, number 7, the Twins. They're 63-50. And 63-50. I was making sure that was like, I don't know if that number's correct there. But the .558 win percentage, they're 3.5 games back on the Guardians. Plus 52 on the run scored versus runs allowed. They're on a 2-game losing streak right now, but they're 6-4 in their last 10. Their previous ranking was 8. They've moved up one spot, and they're healthy, right? That's they're determined first and foremost by health, right? When the top hitters are healthy, no problem at all. They got kind of a Rangers problem, you know what I mean? Where the injuries kind of pile up on you all of a sudden, but very solid team and a very challenging division as well. The American League's just tough, but the Central's, there's only 2 teams below 500. So everybody else is very competitive. All right, let's drop on down to number 8. We got the San Diego Padres. They're 63-52 with a 548 win percentage, 3 games back on the Dodgers. They're actually tied with the Diamondbacks, the same record, but the Diamondbacks have the tiebreaker at the moment. They play 500 ball essentially at home, 30-29. They're better on the road, 33-24, plus 55 on the run scored versus runs allowed differential. Currently on a 4-game winning streak, 8-10 or 8-2 in their last 10. So they're definitely coming around. They've won 13 out of their last 16 games since the All-Star break, scoring more than twice as many runs as they've allowed. So they're the needle's going up, right? So they are someone to absolutely watch. Number 9 is their NL West mate. I just talked about how they're tied with them right now. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they were previously 15th. Now they've moved all the way up to 9, right? They are hot, lightning hot right now. They scored 5 or more runs in the last 12 out of the 17 games. They are on fire. They've won. They have the same win streak at 4, 8-2 in their last 10, plus 52 on the win. These teams are almost identical, like very, very close teams. Now, the Diamondbacks are a little bit better at home and a little bit worse on the road, but light and hot. Like, I don't know what's going on in the West, but something's up. And this is a team that finishes out the top 10. This is a team that you would thought were going to just kind of run away with the National League. But with injuries and whatnot, it's devastated them, right? The Atlanta Braves, they're number 2 in the AL East. They're 7.5 games back on the Phillies. They're 60-53, 531 win percentage. 32-25 at home, 500 on the road. They're 28-28, plus 42 on the run scored versus runs allowed differential. Lost the last 4. They're 5-5 in their last 10. So, looking at all that, I think injuries have just punished the Braves. They're not doing so hot. And the pitching's, hitting's, right? 500 ball. I don't see them making the postseason, to be honest. And that's actually something we can look at right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. No, not the standings. Apologies. We're looking at the wild card standings. That's what I want to look at. So I don't really want to go through line by line on all the standings in the league, but those are your power. The top 10 I just gave you, those are the ones to watch out for, right? Those are the teams that are trending. But let's take a peek. Here's your AL leaders right at the moment. Let me make this bigger. Hold on one second. There we go. So obviously, the Baltimore Orioles, Yankees, Cleveland, the Guardians, and the Astros, they're all the AL leaders right now. And then you got your wild card, right? But here's, you'll still see these teams in the wild card because nothing's locked up, right? So Baltimore, Yankees, Twins, and Royals are all in the wild card right now. They're all, postseason, right? And then you have the Sox, the Mariners, Tampa Bay, Tigers, the Rangers. The Sox are only a game and a half back. Mariners are 4.5 games back. They've had a tough road. And then when Astros came to Arlington, take on the Rangers. Rangers got the first game, but Astros won the second 2, and they sole possession of first place in the West. You have the Tampa Bay Rays, 5.5. Detroit Tigers, 8.5 back. As I mentioned, the Rangers at 9.5. Then you get to like the Jays, the Angels. They're double digits. Can they make a run? I don't think so. I personally don't believe. Can the Rangers even make a run at this point? Maybe. But being almost 10 games back, 9.5 games, I don't know if they got it. I don't know. They're getting some pitching back. Hitting has been hit or miss. Corey Seager is trying to just drag this team to the postseason. It is what it is. But the Sox absolutely would be fun to see in the postseason. They've been a pretty solid team. But yeah, there you go. That's your AL at the moment. Your NL leaders at the moment, you have Philadelphia Phillies on the East, Dodgers on the West, Brewers on the Central. Right now for the wild card, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and Braves are all occupying the wild card. And then you do have the Mets, a half game back, Cardinals, 2 games back, Giants, 3.5 games back, Pirates, 4 games back, Cubs, 5. See the difference here between this league and this conference? The NL, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that are 5.5 games back. It's going to be crazy. August is going to be wild. September is going to be amazing. But then, you do have the Nationals. Well, you have the Reds at 5.5 games back. Nationals at 9 games back. Marlins and Colorado Rockies, 18 and 19 respectively. They're done. Now, I don't know about the Nationals, to be honest with you, but the Reds, Cubs, Pirates, Giants, Cardinals, Mets, they could all make a run. I'm dying to see how it goes because we've been watching so much baseball this season. Postseason baseball, September baseball, October baseball, there's nothing like it. Love every second of it. So, and I'll go ahead and say what I said earlier. And every time Alan and I get together and talk about the rankings, the standings, anything like that, I do believe in the Orioles this year coming out of the East and going to the ALCS. Now, winning it, I don't know. The Yankees might have something to say about that. Somehow the Astros are always in the mix. They somehow, I don't know how, and I do sound a bit jaded, but anyways, they somehow trash can bang their way to the ALCS, but I don't care. I think the Orioles and the Yankees are just outclassing everyone right now in the American League, so that's who I predict to go and represent the AL in the World Series. The Orioles or the Yankees. I'm leaning towards the Orioles, but the Yankees are hot as hell as well. And then looking over the American League, I've said it all year. The Dodgers have paid for this, their division. They've paid to get to the World Series. This staff, the talent, the players is unbelievable. But I've kind of given it to the Phillies, right? But this last surge, I don't know. I really don't know who's going to come out of it. But I do believe that Phillies and Dodgers will find themselves in the NLCS. Who's coming out of that? I'm leaning kind of towards the Dodgers right now, but I really do believe it could be the Phillies. I've been saying Phillies all year long. But don't be surprised if you catch a little, like the Brewers, Diamondbacks, or Padres. They catch fire. The Padres, they've already caught fire, along with the Diamondbacks. If they can keep that momentum going, buddy, postseason is going to be wild. So there you go. There's your power rankings. We talked a little bit about MLB standings and the wild card. So appreciate you listening. Check us out anywhere where this podcast is available. No video. So Google, iHeart, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And make sure you check out Strike Up Beer Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Central Time. Actually, 8 p.m. Central Time now because we do SB Fantasy Football at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. Thank you so much. And, hey, y'all have a good weekend. If I don't talk to you, Alan should be having the recap pop up any moment today or tomorrow. He's had a busy week, but be patient with us. We love you. I'm RD. I'm out of here. Thanks for listening.